What's up, brother fam? Welcome back to a brand new whip review. So today I have with me the 2023 Porsche Carrera 4S. In this video I'm going to tell you the top 5 things that you need to know about this car right here. So I'm going to cover the exterior, the interior, the infotainment, the performance, and the drive. So if you're new to this channel, please make sure to hit that subscribe button right now so you don't miss out on any other video that I'll post in the future. And now without further ado, I'm Ceezy and you're in my world. Let's ride. This is the 911 Carrera 4S. I like to call this car the baby sister to the GT3. In this video, I'm going to point out some key differences between the GT3 and the Carrera. Now, we're going to take a quick walk around the car, starting with the front. So this white right here is very shiny underneath the sun, and it looks great on the Porsche for sure. And right in the center of the hood, you have the Porsche crest. And talking of the hood, this is a difference right there. On the GT3, you would have 2 nostrils that would pretty much channel the air all the way to the back, but on the Carrera you do not have that. It's a solid hood. All right, so right in the center you do not have a grille because the engine of the car is at the back, and that helps with the pointy nose of the car as well, which still helps the car be super aerodynamic and reduce drag at the same time. So it's a great design to the front. All right, so now this car, coming from 3 miles away, you're gonna know it's a Porsche, and the reason why is because you have the signature Porsche fog lights. And these are LED matrix headlights. And the matrix system, what it does, it pretty much sends the light or the beam to the part of the road that the driver needs to see and do not blind other drivers that are incoming. All right, so that's a very cool system. And inside it, you do have the DRL or daytime running light as well. So going a bit lower here, this is where they fit the dynamic turn signal, and a bit lower, so you have 2 massive intake, one on each side, that pretty much channel air to the intercoolers. So that's what it's there for. And also, the air will go to the tires, cool off the brake as you're driving, and also it helps improve stability around the car when you're driving as well. So that's a cool function right there. So everything is for a purpose in the car. So now let's continue to the side. Now, looking at the side profile of the car, you can already tell that the car is absolutely sexy. And the reason is because you have a sport coupe and you have that sporty roofline. It's a sloping roofline, start up to the front and just slopes back. So that helps greatly with aerodynamics as well. So this is why the Porsches are known for. All right, so here you have 20-inch wheels, and the wheels are looking absolutely gorgeous. You have this matte gray right there. This is amazing. And you have red brake calipers. That will let pretty much everybody know that you have a sport car. Not that they don't know, it's already a Porsche. All right, so you have the fuel tank right there. It's right on this side right here. And you have this Porsche sticker on the side. Very cool. On the side, the mirror cap, same body color. And you do have the frame around the window that's all blacked out. It's not chrome or anything like that. So it's very, very cool. And then one cool piece of design is that you have the door handle that is flushed with the car. So that also, they think that helps with aerodynamics. I'll take their word for it. But at the back here, the wheels are even more massive. So you have 21-inch at the back. So you have 20 up front and 21 at the back, and they are wide. Those wheels are, when I say massive, take my word for it, they are massive. And you can tell from the fender as well. You see the way the fender is pushed out to house this wheel. That tells you a little bit about the size of the wheel, and the fact that they are so big, they give you so much grip when you're accelerating. So that's perfect. They know the perfect tires to fit to the car to match the performance of the car, and that is great. So let's keep going to the back. All right, I was talking about how the side is sexy, but look at the back end of this car. I think Porsche did an amazing job with the design of its cars, that's for sure. And you can see the continuation of the sloping roofline goes all the way down, and how bold this part is compared to the 911 Turbo S, which is a bit flatter when it comes here. But on the GT3 Touring and this Carrera, you have a bold back right there. And there's a grille right here because the engine is located right underneath here. and there's the grill that will feed air to it. This is why you don't have a grill up front, you have it here so that the engine can breathe. All right, so a little bit lower to the grill, you have this retractable spoiler that will come up automatically at certain high speed on the highway, or you can press the button inside and just bring it up just to be fancy. Why not? You have the option. So right here you have the signature Porsche tail light. They are all LED, and you have the dynamic turn signal as well. Porsche badge right here, 911 Carrera 4S. People are gonna know what car it is exactly. So going lower on the bumper, you have your parking sensors, and then you have this very slim diffuser. There's no extra pattern or extra sportiness added to it. It looks almost like the bumper of the Turbo S, but it's a Carrera. And you do have 4 exhausts right here, so quad tips or 2 dual exhausts, and they sound amazing. Even the look of it is amazing as well, because it's a matte chrome. It's just amazing. So the back of the car is just sexy, period. All right, so now let's keep going to the inside. Now, before we get inside the car, I want to talk about the dimensions. So this car is 178 inches long, 72 inches wide, and 51 inches tall. So this car is just a bit shorter than the GT3 and a bit taller than the GT3. GT3 is 50 inches tall, and this one is 51. GT3 is 180 inches long. This one is 178. So this car is very compact. So it's a very, very compact car and very aerodynamic. So design, overall design, great job. I would give it a 10 out of 10, to be honest. Now let's check out the inside. Now jumping inside the Carrera. So everything here is pure luxury. This is what you pay for. And Porsche never disappoint when it comes to interior quality, anything like that. There's nothing here that feels cheap. Everything is premium. It's all leather interior. You can see the leather with the stitching on the door, and you have a lighter gray at the middle right here, centerpiece, and all the stitching is on it. All the stitching on the steering wheel, all the seats are premium. So you have bucket seats here. They are perforated. You have bucket seats, all leather. You can see stitching all over the seat. It's just amazing. The quality inside the car is just top notch. Porsche do not disappoint. All right, so nothing feels cheap here. And one thing that I like the most about this car is the quality of the button that they insert here. They have this top part that is more grippy to your finger. It's not, your finger is not gonna slip. So, and you get this click when you use the climate control. It's just amazing. I just love it. Multi-function steering wheel, all leather. So you have leather dashboard. You have the touchscreen in the center here, and you have the driver display here. And of course, you have the analog tachometer. And also, you have a cup holder here, a shift knob right there, volume button. Everything is right there, accessible to the driver. My most favorite thing inside this car, actually one of my most favorite thing, is the climate control in the center right there. So you have 2 vents at the bottom of the screen instead of having them on top. Usually when I'm driving, the air is just freezing my hand and the rest of my body is sweating. But with this right there, it's blowing the air where you need it. This is very conveniently placed right there. This is perfect. I don't know why other cars never thought about that, but Porsche did it. Thank you, Porsche. And Audi e-tron actually did the same as well. And I believe the S3, if I'm not mistaken, but I can double check on that fact. But the e-tron for sure, Audi e-tron GT, they have the same climate control as well. So this is perfect. All right, in the center you have all leather armrests, and you do have some storage underneath it. You can place your phone and some keys. And now getting to the second most favorite thing for me inside the car, which is the panoramic sunroof. I like the light coming inside the car. So people will say that the glass top will pretty much make the car heavier. Yes, but I like the functionality of it. And I can open it all the way and get some air inside the car as well. So this is very cool. But if you're more into racing and you want the car to be lighter, then get a carbon fiber roof. So that's pretty much what you can get there. All right, so now at the back you have 2 extra seats. But I can tell you that someone like me, a full-grown adult, like 5'11", 6 feet, 5'10", you're not gonna be able to fit at the back at all, especially if a tall driver in front of you. You can squeeze if you want, if you really want to get somewhere, but it's not possible. It's not practical at all. If you have a small child, then you can put them at the back. Their seat belt, that's for sure. But when they grow up, you can forget about it. This is mainly a 2-seater car, and I really enjoy it. And that's why the car is so compact, because it's pretty much a track focus car but made for the streets. So this is perfect right there. So now we're gonna check out the space in the front. All right, so the button to open the trunk is right to the side right here before you get out of the car. So the front, they call it the front boot, they call it the front trunk or frunk or fruit, whatever the name you want to give it, but it's just storage to the front. That's how I call it, and that's it. Let me just try to open it. There we go. So the hood is pretty cool. You have some patterns underneath it. On the GT3 Touring, this would be a carbon fiber hood right there, and also you would get the same pattern but just carbon fiber. All right, probably make the car lighter too. All right, so you have decent amount of space here. I'm not gonna get inside it to do my usual test, but this is a lot of space here. It goes pretty deep. You can place a lot of things in here, that's for sure. That's a perk to not having the engine in the front, so you get some storage in front. So very, very cool right there. All right, so before we talk about the infotainment system, I'm gonna demonstrate real quick the keyless entry on the car. So what the car does, every time you move away from it, it just locks automatically. And when you're approaching the car with the key, it's just gonna unlock because you have the handles that are flush to the car, so they need to come out to let you in the car. So I'm gonna demonstrate that in step away. All right, so I am back here. As I am approaching the car, recognize the key, and there we go. The door handles come out, and I am able to get in. So now let's talk about the infotainment system. Jumping inside the Carrera. So now we're gonna talk about the infotainment system. But one cool thing about this car is that you don't have a push start button. So what you do have is a knob or a switch to the left side of the steering wheel. So once the key is inside the car, all you gotta do is just flip it and it's gonna bring the car to life. So it's a touch of traditional cars mixed with a modern touch that Porsche did here. I really like it. So like in the past, you know how you used to put your key inside the ignition and just flip it to the right to start the car? It's the same system, but with a modern touch to it. I like it. All right, so now flip it to the center. Car comes alive. All right, so now we're gonna talk about the infotainment system, starting with the climate control. As I mentioned before, it's right behind the gear selector right here, and you have all those buttons that will pretty much, oh my, I love the click of this button. It just feels it's a button, but they did it in a way where the button just feels premium too. Like, this is amazing engineering right there. All right, so in the center underneath this, you do have two USB-C connectivity ports inside this right there, for faster connectivity to the system. So this system, Porsche calls it the Porsche Communication Management System, the PCM. So it's a 10.9-inch touchscreen, so it's very fluid, just like your phones, very fluid, user-friendly, and the icons are big enough and spaced out enough where you know what you're clicking on, so you're not gonna click on something else by mistake. All right, so and then there's a sound. Let me see if you can hear it. There we go. It's a click sound that you hear. Unlike the Audi, on the Audi, you do have the haptic feedback on the screen. You have to press it and you can hear the click as well. But this one is easier, just like your iPhone. All right, so this is what you have here. Everything about the car is on this side right there. Vehicle settings, phone settings, music, everything. And talking of music, you do have the Bose sound system in this car. This is great. All right, so now on the driver's side, for the cockpit, so you have two sides of virtual cockpit, and right in the center you have the analog part of it as well. So one thing that I mentioned in my review about the Porsche Taycan, the display is so wide that the steering wheel is in the way of some of the information. For example, the fuel level is on this side. I mean, we don't check the fuel level that often when we're driving, but if you want to see it when you're driving, you're gonna look that way. Now, if you want to see the outside temperature, you're going to be looking this way, and this is where the time is as well. So there's two parts of the virtual cockpit that is not too conveniently placed, but most of the information you need is pretty much in the center, and I wouldn't complain about that too much. So that's not a big deal at all. All right, so this is all I have for the infotainment system. So now we're going to talk about the engine. But before I do that, I'm going to flip the car. All right, so just like the front, the button to open the engine cover is right on the side here. So this is how it goes. The grill is up. So right underneath it, you have this 3-liter flat 6 engine that can put us around 443 horsepower with 390 pound-feet of torque. So this car can go from 0 to 60 in 3.4 seconds. That is great performance right there. And the aerodynamics on the car speak volume as well. So this engine is controlled by an 8-speed automatic gearbox, and the fuel efficiency in this car is about 18 miles per gallon in the city and 23 on the highway. Now we're gonna take it for a drive. Alright, so now taking the Carrera on a quick drive. So out the gate right now, I have the car on the sportiest setting. So chassis is on sport, suspension is on sport, I even have the spoiler up, engine is on sport, so everything is ready to go right now. So the car, I can feel the throttle underneath my foot right now. Everything is just ready to go. So right now I am going to floor it a little bit. Oh my gosh, the performance is just insane. Oh my gosh, the sound inside the car is just something else. And you have those big brakes that pretty much help you stop the car because you have a lot of power. So 443 horsepower, that's a lot. So you need big brakes, and that's what Porsche did with the car. So you have those nice brakes that will help you stop the beast. So the sound of the engine, the suspension, everything is just pretty stiff. So this car, as I mentioned before, this is a track focused car, but they made it road or street legal. So this is very, very impressive. So let's see the turning radius of the car right now. Oh, it's gonna make it. There we go. The turning radius, it's surprisingly very low. So it's a short car, of course, so not too surprising, but it is surprising anyways for the distance that I just made. So I'm gonna push it one more time. You're gonna hear the engine sound is just amazing. The car just sings to you. Listen to that. Porsche performance. I totally recommend this car. It is, oh my gosh, that was I'm tearing up a little bit. That was brutal. That was brutal. Like, you ever play like Mortal Kombat when they say fatality? That's what just happened right now. The car is just amazing. The handling is amazing. Everything just worked in perfect harmony inside the car. So like the symphony of the engine, everything is just singing to you. I can hear like the air being sucked up at the back. It's just amazing. The exhaust sound, the speed, oh my gosh, it's incredible. And as I was mentioning before, the tires that you get on this car, the way it puts the power down to the road, man, it's unheard of. So Porsche, when it comes to performance, there is no comparing to that. That is perfect right there. This car, totally recommended. Alright, Rider fam, thank you so much for watching this review about the 2023 Porsche 911 Carrera 4S. So if you find any value add in this video, feel free to give it a big thumbs up. And also, if you are new, subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on any other video that I'll post in the future. And now, until we meet again, let's keep riding.